going at it about Terence Crawford and Canelo Álvarez. You know, we're probably gonna get that fight in September, and fans are divided. We have fans saying that Canelo is without a doubt gonna beat Crawford, and then we have fans who are confident that Crawford is gonna win that fight. Obviously, there's gonna be a large group of people that are incorrect, that are making a bad assessment and a bad prediction. Who's it gonna be? Who is it gonna be? I've already made my prediction. I've already told people how I thought this was gonna play out, how I know this is gonna play out, and I'm just looking forward to it, man. I don't want to. I'm not saying that I want to look past Canelo's next opponent in May, but I just feel confident that when he and Terence Crawford face each other, Bud is gonna put the beats on him. That's just the way that I see it playing out. So we have to take into consideration. I understand that Canelo's the guy who's the naturally bigger guy, as his fans have been arguing, and Crawford will be moving up multiple divisions. Those are factors that you gotta weigh in. However, there's a reason why Terence Bud Crawford is the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. There's a reason why some of us feel quite confident that he's going to beat Canelo. And, I guess a lot of people need that time to figure it out, and they need it to happen. It's kind of like the same thing. It reminds me of when Terence Crawford was going to fight Errol Spence. And it was so many people that were saying Errol Spence was going to batter him, Errol Spence was going to get him out of there. And we saw how that played out. The Mexican G, first one in the building. What's the deal, my brother? Bam, good to have you on. Did you give me your prediction, the Mexican G? We was on this morning going at it about Canelo, Terence Crawford. Who's going to win? What's your prediction, my guy? Who wins this fight, and how does it play out? But yeah, man, this morning we was going at it. Canelo has a lot of people who feel like he's going to win that fight. Crawford has a lot of people that feel like he's going to pull it off. And everybody's confident. Everybody's confident. Everybody feels sure that the guy they're predicting is going to win this fight. But we have to see it. We have to see it, my peoples. Joe Mintarum, what's up, bro? What's the deal, my G? The magic question, man. Canelo Álvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. Who you got winning this fight, Joe, man? The Mexican G by a body shot. The Mexican G, I got Canelo stopping Crawford by a body shot. Okay. That's a bold prediction. Joe Mintarum, where are you from? Dominican Republic. So, this is a fight that we're all looking forward to. A lot of predictions. A lot of people feel confident about who's going to win. Me personally, the Mexican G, I got Terence Crawford winning that fight by unanimous decision. Now, I'm not taking Canelo lightly. I know how great Canelo is. Sign us off a little again. Let me see. My check. Let me know, John Parham. How's the sound now? Hey, yo, my peoples, y'all already know what it is, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Box Center. Let's get it. Let's get it, my peoples. But again, that's what's up, my brother John Parham. I appreciate it. Heads up with the sound and whatnot. But again, my peoples, listen, Terence Crawford, Canelo Álvarez, we went at it this morning. And this is one of those fights, and that's how you know it's a very good fight, simply because so many people feel confident that Canelo's going to win, but also a lot of people feel sure that Terence Crawford is going to win, me being one of them. So it's like, who's actually, there's going to be a large group of people that is going to be wrong when that fight happens. The Mexican G, all the extra muscle Crawford put on will slow down Crawford's footwork. The act will cause him to be a stationary target for Canelo. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not buying in on that, the Mexican G, and I'm gonna tell you why. Terence Crawford is a very, very athletic person. Very athletic. He's a special specimen, and I don't think that his footwork is gonna slow down at all. In fact, Canelo's a guy that who he's not known for his footwork. Even people who's been in the ring with him, even Oscar De La Hoya said Canelo's like somebody walking on quicksand. You know, he knows how to come forward and do what he do, but he doesn't have that type of footwork. John Parham, the Mexican, I thought so too, but not looking like it so far. You got to see how he looks in the gym, how he looks in sparring, how he looks when he's moving in the ring. Yo, Terence Crawford, I'm telling you, he's a special, very special fighter, very athletic, and he's going to be the fastest guy in the ring. That's for sure. Canelo's not going to have the type of footwork or the hand speed that Crawford has. He's, what everybody's banking on is that he's stronger. He's the naturally bigger guy. But I'm trying to tell you, my brother, Bud Crawford is someone who, he's special. He's special just like that. The Mexican G, he looks slow against that Russian dude. You got to remember, my brother, styles make fights. That Russian dude is a very tough fighter, and people don't give him credit. In fact, they'll discredit him just to discredit Crawford. Because take a look at Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz was losing rounds against Madrimov, and then, by the sixth round, he started to pick up the pace and started to get into rhythm. But Virgil Ortiz had a very competitive fight. He couldn't just go in there and dominate him. I remember those people telling me, oh, yeah, Virgil Ortiz, he's going to knock him out. He's going to knock Madrimov out, watch. And look, it went the distance. Why? Because Madrimov is a tough fighter. There's a reason why this dude was a champion. The Mexican G, imagine moving up 2 more weight classes. Like I said, man, styles make fights, my brother. You got to remember, the 2 guys who beat Canelo Álvarez, they didn't beat him with power. They outboxed him. Floyd Mayweather, Dimitri Bivol, they outboxed him. It was about boxing skills. That's what it was all about. It never broke down to power. None of them ever hurt Canelo in any way, shape, or form. They never had him, wobbled or anything like that. They simply outboxed him. So when you have a guy who can outbox you, they can offset your power. That's what I believe. I believe Terence Crawford will be able to outbox Canelo the way that those guys who beat him outboxed him. Ellis, un saludos de Sinaloa. What's up, Ellis? We talking Terence Crawford, Canelo Álvarez. Who you got from Sinaloa? The Mexican G. They got to make the fight happen. I'm tired of speculating. To be honest, my brother, I feel confident that it's going to happen for 2 reasons. Number 1, we've already seen Canelo taking pictures and everything with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. We've already seen His Excellency announce that fight, that it is going to happen in September. But most importantly, the way that Canelo changed tunes. If you remember, last year when he was asked about Terence Crawford, he said things like, well, if I beat him, nobody's going to give me credit because he's going to be moving up. And I'm just not going to get the credit for winning that fight. And now they asked him, that was yesterday. And what did he say? That a win over Terence Crawford would be good for his legacy. Because Terence Crawford is a 2-time undisputed, 2-division undisputed champion. Very accomplished fighter. So we could see now that Canelo's language is very different when he's talking about Terence Crawford. So that's why I think that, they haven't signed the contracts. I know that there's a lot of business to get done. And obviously, a fight is not guaranteed until those contracts are signed. But everything is looking like they will be fighting in September. King of B-More, I don't think any one of them will win. I think it's going to be a decision. They're going to rematch after for more money. It's going to be a tie. Okay, if you see it as a draw, that can happen. But you're talking about it more from a perspective of business. Like, oh, it's going to be a business. They're going to make it a draw. And I don't think so, my brother. I think, you know, Canelo Álvarez wants to walk out of there with the W, wants to be the first guy to beat Terence Bud Crawford. And then Bud, he wants to win that fight badly. He wants to be the guy to prove everybody wrong. Just like everybody, you know, discredited him when he was going to fight Canelo, when he was going to fight Errol Spence. He's seen the same thing now, and he wants to prove everybody wrong. The Mexican G, do you think Canelo should get credit if he beats Terence Crawford? Of course, my brother. Of course. He's beating a pound-for-pound fighter and one of the best of this era. Whichever one of them two wins this fight is going to get credit. That's guaranteed. You know, and I tell you, you know, it's a tough fight. It's two great fighters, two pound-for-pound fighters. And they're close to the same age. Somebody earlier told me, Crawford is old. Crawford is 37 years old, and I think Canelo's 35. So they're close to the same age as well. My peoples, I appreciate you, John Parham. My peoples, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're getting closer to 1,000 subscribers, man. Let's get there. We're going to get there in the next few days. I already know that. But listen, man, listen. I think a lot of people, and especially everybody who predicted that Errol Spence was going to beat Crawford because he was bigger, because he was naturally bigger, because he was stronger, they're also predicting that Canelo's going to beat him for the same reasons. That's why I'm telling those people, yo, did you not learn? Did you not learn? Like, it's not about size. It's not about who's bigger. It's about the skills. The Mexican G, Crawford is smaller than Canelo. So some people might use that factor to discredit Canelo's victory. See, the thing about Crawford being smaller is that we have to look at them physically. Crawford actually has physical advantages over Canelo. Taller and longer reach. Those are very, very important attributes. So Canelo, you can say he's naturally bigger because he's wider. But we have to understand one thing, my brother. Canelo is a very small 168 pounder. Everybody in that division is bigger than Canelo. It's kind of like Pacquiao when he moved to 147. He beat a lot of fighters at 147, but everybody was bigger than him because he moved up all them divisions. Well, guess what? Canelo is a 154 pounder. People forgetting that. He a 154 pounder who kept moving up and landed at 168. He not a big dude, my peoples. Canelo is not a legitimate 168 pounder. He's a small dude. Aaron Stottenberg, boxing is boring. Well, since boxing is boring, my brother, we don't want to bore you. You don't need to be here. You have a good night. Go find something else. Peace. Talking about boxing is boring. Get the hell out of here. Go talk about that somewhere else. But I digress. King of B-more, I lost money on that fight. I thought Errol Spence was going to win. You see what I'm talking about? You're not the only one. You just happen to be keeping it real. But most of the people who said Errol Spence was going to win, they disappeared, bro. They nowhere to be found. And then when they are found, they were like, nah, because he won because of the car accident, and Errol Spence was smoking weed that day, and he lost his homework. All type of excuses that nobody even want to hear. All type of excuses. On Lace, salute, my G. Appreciate you dropping in, my brother. The Mexican G, Spence is one of my favorite fighters, but he's not on the same level as Canelo. I'm not telling you that Errol Spence was on the same level as Canelo. But the reason people thought he was going to whoop Bud Crawford is because he's naturally bigger. How did the naturally bigger work out for him? It didn't work out. So that's my point. Most people who are siding with Canelo stick to the, well, it's that he's bigger. It's that he's stronger. It's that Crawford is moving up. Canelo's not a big 168 pounder. When you see him next to each other, he don't even look bigger than Crawford like that. Too tall. If Canelo and Crawford throw down, who do you think would win? I personally got Terence Bud Crawford winning that fight by unanimous decision. The Mexican G, I was sure Spence was going to whoop Crawford. I couldn't have been more wrong. You see what I'm telling you? With Canelo, you are going to be more wrong. you're going to be more wrong with Canelo, because with Canelo, you feel so confident. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, that a lot of people was banking on Errol Spence to win that fight because he's bigger. And that's what people got to say, nah, Canelo's bigger and Terence Crawford is too small. Like, didn't we already learn that size is not what wins fights? We should have learned that. Y'all gonna relearn it again. King of B-more. I went with Spence because he's from New York. I can't go against East Coast boxers. Pastor J, I know Errol personally. He lost fair and square. The Mexican G, not this time, brother. Canelo by KO. You're gonna be disappointed, bro. You're gonna be disappointed. I'm gonna be here to tell you I told you so. Ozzy, crazy how good Spence actually was, and though how easy Bub made it. You see? People underestimate Terence Crawford's boxing IQ, his boxing skills, his pure boxing skills. People underestimate it. They don't see how good, for whatever reason, he actually is, so he doesn't get that credit. I had somebody this morning telling me, oh, nah, man, Canelo's going to dog walk him. It's going to make it look easy. I'm like, huh? He going to make it look easy? Damn, bro. We going to be real disappointed, because I'm telling you what, that fight's going to be on a Saturday, and I'm going to be right here on Sunday morning live just to talk to everybody, which, by the way, I'm going to go live during the fight as well. So y'all going to see my face as they fight each other, as Bud Crawford put all types of hands on Canelo. Y'all gonna see it. And by the way, yo, listen. I did something very, very interesting. I ran this fight through ChatGPT. You could do it yourself. I asked ChatGPT, when Canelo and Terence Crawford fight, who's gonna win? And ChatGPT, yo, it gave me all the details. Crawford is going to win the early rounds. Canelo's going to step it up with the body punching and win some of the middle rounds. The championship rounds are going to be close. And ultimately, Terence Bud Crawford is going to win by split decision. This is what ChatGPT predicted. I'm going to beat ChatGPT by predicting that Bud is going to win that fight by unanimous decision instead of split decision. Pastor J, the New York State Athletic Commission is leaving the fight as a draw. Too much money for this fight. It will be a trilogy. Oh, Pastor J, we already accepted that the New York State Athletic Commission, oh my goodness, yo, I don't even want to talk about them. I don't want to call them corrupt, but if they're not corrupt, I don't know what they are. It looked like they bought and paid for it. King of B-more, I got to look at their prediction too. Now I only use them for work stuff. I actually got to use them for work, but I'm telling you, run Terence Crawford versus Canelo Álvarez through ChatGPT, and you're going to see. Even ChatGPT is going to tell you how it's going to go down. It's going to be a very competitive fight. I can tell you how that fight is going to play out. It's going to be super competitive. They're going to go back and forth, the ebb and flow. They're both going to win rounds, but ultimately, when they get to those championship rounds, and by the way, you may or not want to admit this, but there's been some fights where in the championship rounds, Canelo's output decreased. We never seen that on Terence Crawford's side, though. Ozzy, apparently Bivol only won by a round. It was a split decision. But I think it was a fair split decision in Bivol's favor. The Mexican G, man, ChatGPT be on some bullshit. I'm trying to tell you, I was like, you know what? Let me see what ChatGPT is going to say about this fight. They got Bud Crawford winning it. King of B-more. We need good people on that undercard. We don't only want to see that fight, though. That fight is going to be expensive. Not necessarily, my brother. Remember, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is spearheading that event. And if that's the case, my man has been doing pay-per-views for $25, B. That fight may actually not be expensive like that. It's not going to be no $79.99 or higher. I think it may actually be cheap. But we shall find out. Because His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, so far, he has lived up to that promise. We've been seeing pay-per-views $19.99 and $25. So that fight may actually not be expensive, which could lead to a breaking a record. as far as how many people buy the pay-per-view and viewership as well. Yo, I'm telling you. And you gotta think about it, man. Terence Bud Crawford, the African American fighter, versus Canelo Álvarez, the Mexican fighter. When it comes to Mexico versus the U.S., it's always a big event. It's history there. You can go back to the 80s and even before that. I can't go before that because I was too young. But as far as I can remember, Julio Cesar Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor. That was an epic, epic showdown. Julio Cesar Chavez versus Sweet Pea. Another epic showdown. And there's been many more before that and after that. When you talk about Mexico and the U.S., there's always, a big thing there. And Canelo has a huge fan base that are, they're going to be there for him. We already know that. Tavon from Baltimore. What's good, my G? What's up, Tavon? Who you got? Terence Bud Crawford, Canelo Álvarez. Who you got winning that fight? And by the way, my peoples, I did a survey this morning on Canelo versus Bud, and I want to show you. I posted that survey on IG, and I want y'all to see who's seen it. Check out who's seen that survey, my people, so far. Just like Mexico versus Puerto Rican fighters, that's a fact. Y'all seen who's seen the survey from this morning? I don't know if y'all can read it. In case y'all can't read it. Oh, look at the first name up top. I didn't even notice. Look. Look at the first name up top, my people who seen that survey. Mr. He got robbed the other day. So Lamont Roche, Clarissa Shields, Eddie Hearn, Frank the Ghost Martin, Danny Garcia, and Shakur Stevenson have already seen it. Let me show you, my peoples, in case you want to follow me on IG. There you have it right there, J Smith 134. By the way, I do post a lot of exclusive content on IG that you'll only be able to see it on there. I post a lot of stories. Follow me on Instagram, my peoples. Y'all gonna see why this is your favorite boxer's favorite boxing show. But here's the survey once again, my peoples, for those who are here right now. And just type one name as your answer. One name. Who's gonna win should they fight in September? Bud or Canelo? Who y'all got, my people? Let me know. As simple as that. Is everybody siding with the same fighter? Do we have people going both ways? I know that the Mexican G, you told me you're going with Canelo winning that. Let's see it. Who y'all got, my peoples? Canelo Álvarez, Terence Bud Crawford. And I tell you what, man, that's a fight that I've been calling for that fight for more than a lot of people. In fact, I got videos on this same YouTube channel where I'm saying this is the fight to make. And a lot of people were telling me, oh, that fight don't make sense. That fight is never going to happen. Terence Crawford is never going to be able to get that fight. It's just, you're wasting your time. You don't know nothing about boxing, blah, blah, blah. And look, now we're on the verge of getting it. And it's going to be a mega fight, a huge showdown. So to all those people who told me that I don't know what I'm talking about, that Canelo and Crawford, they never going to fight because the divisions and it's weight classes for a reason and all that stuff, guess what? We're going to get it. I feel confident based on what we've seen from His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, what we've seen from Terence Bud Crawford, what we've seen from Canelo Álvarez. I feel confident that fight is going down. I feel confident. So I want to know who ya got. By the way, my peoples, hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Broken up over Boxing 860. Nah, brother. You was on point with that one. Yo, and if you go back and you look at my videos talking about Canelo and Bud fighting each other, yo, you look at the comment section, people telling me that I'm a casual, that I don't know nothing about boxing, how I'm going to say such a fight when that fight don't even make no sense, how, like, Canelo's never going to fight Crawford, Crawford's never going to move all the way up to 168, and look, we're this close to getting that fight. I even feel like once Canelo beat Scully in May, it won't be too long before they announce Canelo versus Bud. Matter of fact, they might even have Bud Crawford in the building and climb the ring after Canelo, does his thing. That, because remember, right now, Canelo got to get past his opponent, right? But I'm telling you that they're already planning it strategically, and I expect Terence Bud Crawford to be there for that fight. And when Canelo wins, y'all gonna remember that I told you. Crawford is gonna climb the ring and be like, I'm ready, what's up? They're gonna have a little moment in the ring. There's gonna be a lot of pictures, and everybody's gonna be talking about Canelo versus Bud. That's the thing that I'm trying to tell everybody. Like, Canelo Álvarez versus Bud Crawford is the type of fight that is gonna shut boxing down. That whole, fight week, like when it's Monday and they'll be fighting on Saturday, all fight week is going to be about Canelo versus Bud. Nobody's going to be talking about nothing else other than those two fighters. And when they finally meet up in the ring, it's going to be the type of fight. Remember Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao? When they was fighting, you would look out your window and there's nobody outside. There's nobody out there. The streets is empty. Everybody's watching it, whether they watching it on TV, whether they watching it in a friend's house, in a bar, wherever it is. The streets was empty, my peoples. That's how it's going to be when Canelo and Bud get it on. Broken up over boxing 860. They act like the money is not a motivating factor. And I got Bud in 12. It's going to be a big fight. It's going to be a mega fight. The same people, it's crazy because the same people that told me that it don't make no sense, that fight is never going to happen, now they're excited about it. Now they're looking forward to it. See? That's going to be a mega showdown, bro. That's going to be Terence Crawford versus Canelo Álvarez is going to be one of the biggest fights in recent history. Trust me on that. It might even be the type of fight that you could compare with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Like, it's going to be that big. None of the fights from now, the current fights from now, are going to be even close as far as how many people buy the pay-per-view, how many people tune in to watch. It's going to be an epic showdown. And you can see it. Look, they haven't even agreed to fight yet. There's no contract that have been signed. Yet people are already talking about it. And I'm talking about, it's not just me. If you go to all the other platforms, people are talking about it. And when they talk to Canelo, they ask him. They ask him about Bud Crawford. When they talk to Crawford, they ask him about Canelo. Appreciate you, my brother. I'm going to follow you back when I get in there. There you have it, John Parham. Appreciate it, man. 57 more subscriptions, and we get to 1,000. We on our way. Either today or tomorrow, we're going to crack that 1,000. But yeah, my peoples, this is fight, man. It's going to be an epic battle. I don't think nobody's going to dog walk anybody. I've been hearing a lot of people telling me this morning, there was people saying, Canelo's going to dog walk him. Man, ain't going to be no dog walking. No, that ain't happening. And I wouldn't say Canelo's going to dog walk, Crawford is going to dog walk him either. It's going to be a super competitive fight. They're going to go back and forth. They're both going to win rounds. They're both going to have big moments during the fight. And eventually, Terence Bud Crawford is going to win by unanimous decision. Just like that. And I've been saying it. I know my brother John Parham got Canelo winning by unanimous decision. And I know a few other of my peoples got Canelo winning it. We're just going to have to see. We're just going to have to see how it plays out. By the way, this guy that Canelo's fighting next, he a big dude. Like, I watched him and he doesn't look like a special fighter, but he's a big dude. Size-wise, he's a big guy. And look, being big is not going to help him. Getting his ass whooped. Ass whooped. That's why I be trying to tell people, like, we go by, this guy's bigger, this guy's bigger. Canelo being bigger is not going to be the deciding factor. Now, he can make those body blows be a deciding factor. We know Canelo is one of the best body punchers in the game. So if he's successful with that, there is a possibility that he will slow Canelo down. I mean, that he will slow Crawford down. And in the later rounds, start winning them more decisively. That's a possibility. But he's not going to walk him down and just knock him out, blow him out of there. That's just not going to happen. The Mexican G, William Score is a big dude. Canelo better be careful. Yeah, and Canelo is a true professional. I know he's not looking past him. He's not going to be looking past him. But in boxing, your skills pay the bills. So Canelo's going to do what he has to do to beat him. And they don't want Score to mess up the bag. Because if Canelo loses to him, we could forget about Canelo versus Crawford. Like, that's done. That's over. That's probably not going to happen. So Canelo needs to win that fight. And guess what? He's going to get a career payday versus Crawford. I don't know how much money he's going to get, but I promise you he's going to get a lot of money. A lot. Broke up over boxing. Someone asked me about my name. Well, I was amateur fighter, and I broke up with a female over me fighting and knocking out her cousin. Oh, damn, that's messed up right there. Did you knock out her cousin in the ring, or was it a street fight? The Mexican G knocked out her cousin. Sheesh. Damn, yo. Y'all broke up just because you knocked Buddy out. That's cold-blooded. Again, my peoples, this is a fight that I'm super looking forward to. And by the way, I don't know if any of y'all saw Keith Thurman. Keith one-time Thurman. Whoa. I was not expecting Keith Thurman to come through like that and stop Brock. What's the name? I can't remember his full name, but this guy from Australia, Keith put the beats on him. Broken up over boxing. Nah, it was in the ring. Okay. What do you mean? If it was in the ring, that's a fair beating. That's, I'll allow it. The Mexican G, if it was in the ring, then she overreacted. That's facts. You did what you had to do. I mean, he would have beat your ass if he could. I bet you he would have beat your ass if he could. So that's the way it goes. She tripping. She overreacted. She's overreacting. Thurman looked good. That's what I'm talking about, man. He had been inactive for a year and came back young, undefeated fighter. I mean, to be honest, when it comes to the guy Keith Thurman beat, I just know that he was undefeated and from Australia. I don't really know him like that. I don't know how good he actually was. He looked like he was a good fighter, but, Keith Thurman, he's still one time. Now, we just have to see, is Keith Thurman going to stay healthy? Or is he going to get injured again and be inactive for another year or two? So, if he can stay healthy and stay active and fight again, let's say in 4 or 5 months, let's see. He did call out Tim Tszyu. To be honest, I don't like the fact that he called out Tim Tszyu, because right now Timmy is not a champion, is not at the top like he was before. I think Keith Thurman should be going after, somebody who is already at the top or on a winning streak. Broke up over boxing, yeah. I like how he looked after a year off. Like, I don't think nobody expected this. I even thought, this kid might upset Tim Tszyu. Because he's been out of boxing for a long time already, a year. And before that, he was out also for, he's had so much inactivity, man. But when he gets in the ring, there you have it, man. We got the sharp version of Keith one-time Thurman. Hopefully, broke up over boxing. Hopefully, he could get a good name next. Let's see. Boots wanted that action with Keith Thurman. And you know what? I think Boots is going to end up moving to 154 sooner rather than later. Why? Because he wanted to become undisputed at welterweight, but he's having a real hard time getting the other guys in the ring. So he's going to get Stanionis, but he might not be able to get the other champion in the ring with him. So it might be Boots and Stanionis, and if he wins that fight, I think he's going to go to 154. broke up over boxing. I like Boots' fight for him. I love that fight. I love it. Go get the money. Jay Smith. What's the deal, my G? Nah, we going at it, man, about Terence Crawford and Canelo Álvarez. How is that going to play out? Giving out these predictions. And, the latest, we talking about Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman is showing that he still got it. Still sharp. Still got pop. Stopped a young lion in 3 rounds. Like, I don't think anybody expected that. I don't think anybody expected Keith Thurman to just show up and put that type of beating on a young undefeated fighter. He put the beats on him. The Swiss, the Dre, and even the Apple beats. Put it on him. So what's next for Keith Thurman? I know he called out Tim Tszyu, but Tim Tszyu, he's been through some situations at this point where I don't think he's the right opponent. That's just my opinion, by the way. That's my opinion. Let me see. Let me just look at the box real quick. Oh, look, I didn't even know Tim Tszyu got a fight coming up versus Joseph Spencer. And I like the fact that he's remaining, staying active. But Tim Tszyu lost to Fundora and then lost to Murtasaliev. So he got 2 losses in a row. But he does have an upcoming fight. I didn't know he already had an opponent lined up. Because I like, damn, why Keith Thurman's going to call a guy out who has 2 losses in a row? That really didn't make a lot of sense to me. But I see that Tim Tszyu has a comeback fight in Joseph Spencer. And then let's see what he does from there. The Mexican G. Keith Thurman looked like he never left. That's a fact, bro. It's like he never left. Real talk. Super sharp. The only thing, man, damn, I wish... How they going to have that fight on a Wednesday, man? Most people miss that fight. Like, if you're not from Australia, most of us didn't even know that fight was today. I really thought they was going to fight on Wednesday. I thought they was going to fight on Wednesday. I was ready. I was going to watch that fight. I was going to call it. And then this morning when I went live, somebody told me, yo, Keith Thurman put the beats on this kid. I was like, what? That's how I found out. I was on a live, and one of you guys told me about it. The Mexican G, Joey Spencer, I forgot about him. Last time he was in the ring, he got stopped by Jesus Ramos. I guess they gave him that opponent so that Tim Tszyu can get his confidence back. He could look good. And then maybe from there, they'll get him a better opponent. But I think, if you lose twice in a row, they need to get you an easier fight. Just to get you back in the rhythm, get you feeling confident, and go from there. But I'm going to tell you what, my peoples. Tim Tszyu is a fighter that I still believe in him. I still believe in Tim Tszyu. I still believe that he's going to go on to do some big things before it's all said and done. Go get the money. I have Bud winning. Canelo fans finna have to accept this L. Simple. I mean, I want to see how it's going to play out, man, because I feel like the way people treat Terence Crawford when he beats Canelo Álvarez, they're going to have some type of explanation. Oh, Canelo didn't look the same. Maybe there was something wrong with him. Oh, it's like there's going to be something. They're going to figure something out. Instead of just saying, yo, damn, Crawford is just that great. He's just that great. I find it hard to believe that people are just going to give him his credit like they should. My peoples, you already know, man. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to Box Center, my peoples. And I showed this earlier to those of you who haven't seen it yet. Some of you were in that survey that I did this morning. So y'all know there was people who picked Canelo. There was people who picked Bud. It was kind of split. But check it, my people. These are the people who saw that survey that I did this morning. Some of them. Check it. The Mexican G, Canelo ain't beating Canelo. Canelo's going to put the beats by Dre on that man. You're going to be disappointed, man. Just remember, you felt sure Errol Spence was going to put the beats on him, too. You were sure Errol was going to put the beats on him. And you saw how that played out. Errol Spence took a beating of a lifetime. When is the last time We saw an undefeated champion, an undefeated unified champion, take the type of beating that Bud gave him. I can't even think of it. I can't even think of it, yo. I can't even think of it. What a beating Terence Crawford gave Errol Spence. We can't remember when's the last time, yo, that an undefeated unified champion took that type of beating. I don't even remember. I can't even, I have to really, really think about it, or maybe look for fights to remember when that happened. Go get the money. Errol got beat so bad, Buzz started feeling bad for him. Like, yo. But I'm going to tell you something, man. Watching that fight, a lot of us got to a point where we was just feeling bad for Errol. Like, damn, yo. Like, to me, before the referee stopped it, his corner should have stopped it. His corner should have been like, yo, that's it, man. You getting killed out there. You stumbling around, looking goofy as hell, throwing punches, looking off balance. He was done way before they stopped that fight. He was just done. And you know what? I felt like they did Errol Spence dirty because, like, when you take that type of beating, you're not even good in the head. You're all dizzy. You're all wobbly. How that man climbed off the ring and they put a camera in his face, man, and interview him. Had Errol looking punch drunk over there. Why y'all did that to that man, bro? Y'all should have just let him go. Let him go see the doctor. Let him handle his business. Don't put him in front of the camera like that, bro. Like, that's horrible. That's horrible. I didn't like the way they did him. EW, Canelo, not Errol. No, but we're talking about, what happened to Errol Spence. He took a nasty beating. And Canelo, he's going to get beat up too, but he's not going to take that type of beating. Not going to be that bad. The Mexican G, we're about to see another undefeated fighter take a beating. And listen, like I'm going to tell you what I told a lot of people. On Sunday morning when I jump on this live, I hope you don't hide. Don't talk about my internet was down and my internet wasn't working. No. I want to see you on Sunday morning. See me on Sunday morning about that beating that you're talking about. Because Canelo might get boxed in a way that he might look bad. He might not even look good. And that's when y'all going to come with the, what had happened is that Canelo, he didn't look the same. Something might be wrong with him. It does suck, the Mexican G, that we have to wait for that fight all the way till September. I really was hoping that they fought each other in May. For whatever reason, Canelo wanted. Listen, the only reason, by the way, that they're fighting in September is because of Canelo. It's Canelo who wanted to fight somebody else first, and then Crawford. Crawford was ready to fight him in May for Cinco de Mayo weekend. Canelo made him wait. So that's your boy that made us wait. Go get the money. Man, what if Buck can knock down Canelo? The internet will break. Oh, my God, yo. The internet will break. No, listen. If Bud drops Canelo or if he knocks him out, we're going to start hearing people say that he's on steroids and that he's cheating. Because I'm telling you, they will not be able to accept that he'll whoop that ass. There's got to be some type of excuse. We're going to see it. We all have our predictions, what we think is going to happen, how we think is going to play out. But at the end of the day, it's all going to go down in the ring. And then when Terence Crawford put the beats on Canelo, I'm going to be up in here like, yeah, talk to me. What's your excuse now? What is the excuses? Please tell me. Because I know it's going to be a lot of excuses. I already know it, my peoples. Again, y'all already know, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Box Center. Let's get it going, my peoples. And, yo, by the way, Ryan Garcia, let me sidetrack real quick. Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. They're all fighting in Times Square. May 2nd. My peoples. Have y'all been watching these press conferences? Like, you're talking about three young top level fighters who don't like each other. They're on the same card. And to me, it's even funny to see, like, Ryan, he's not even fighting Devin. He's on the stage arguing with Devin and arguing with Teofimo. Like, these dudes ain't even fighting each other and they arguing. That's crazy. So that fight is going to go down in Times Square. That's going to be epic. Historical. There's never been a boxing card in Times Square. This dude's going to be throwing hands surrounded by skyscrapers. And after that, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is going to hold another event in Alcatraz. You imagine? Alcatraz? Man, I wish I could be up in Alcatraz watching that. Go get the money. Yeah, they definitely drug test him after the fight. People gonna say, snag this, snag that. John Parham, if Canelo loses, he retires. That's a possibility. I mean, he's gonna get. I mean, look, Canelo right now has retirement type money. Right now, but that fight is also gonna get him a lot of money. And by the way, I think that there will be a rematch clause. I think there will be a rematch clause, and unless Canelo get completely dominated, completely outworked, completely just made to look bad, I think that he will exercise that rematch clause. Like if it's a close fight, if Crawford win, let's say 7-5 or a split decision, I think Canelo will activate that rematch clause. Giovanni Jimenez, why do you have Bud over Canelo? That's a great fight. So I like Crawford's physical advantages. Everybody talks about Canelo's the bigger guy, Canelo's the bigger guy. Crawford is actually taller and he has more reach. Crawford also has the better footwork. He's better on his feet. And I honestly believe that he'll be able to outbox Canelo. I think that he has the better boxing skills. Go get the money. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a rematch clause. I don't know, man. You got to remember, Terence Crawford is the one fighting the champion. He's going to be the challenger. And I don't see a scenario where, it could be a one-side rematch clause in Canelo's favor. But I don't see Canelo giving him the opportunity and just feeling so confident that he won't put a rematch clause up in there. Which, by the way, what tells you how good Terence Crawford is and how much Canelo respects him, he won $150 million to fight him. $150 million to fight him. When a fighter asks for a career payday to face somebody, that tells you what's going on. That right there tells you. So even though Canelo fans like, he's going to dog walk him, he's asking for a career payday because he knows what Terence Crawford represents inside that ring. He knows. Elite level fighters, they recognize each other. They see what they can do in the ring. And for him to ask for a career payday, and it's not just a career payday, it's a career payday by a landslide. If you look at Canelo's highest purse, it's not even close to what he's asking to fight Terence Crawford. So I think that tells us the type of respect that he has for Bud. That's like, if you want me to fight him, you got to pay me this much money. $150 million. Now, I don't know that he's going to get that amount, but we shall see. We're going to find out. I honestly believe he's going to beat Scully in May, and it's not going to take, because remember, if they fight, it's going to be in September. So it's May, June, July, August, September. He would fight 4 months after fighting Scully. That means that they're not gonna take too much time to announce that fight and start the press conferences and start, selling it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it shortly after he put the beats on Scully. That's how I see it playing out. Go get the money. Canelo has problems with counterpunchers. He has problems with counterpunchers. He has had problems with height and reach with guys who are slick fighters. And I'm telling you, Terence Buck Crawford has all of the tools and resources to put the Swiss beast on Canelo Álvarez. He has it. My peoples, I'm going to end this live right here. And I just want to give a shout out everybody who came through to say what's up. Everybody who hit that like button. It was only 7 of you. The other ones hated on me. But I appreciate you, my peoples. Y'all already know what this is. 5 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to get down with the get down. So I'm going to see you. Actually, 6. Let me see. Actually, at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I will be back on. We're going to talk boxing. We're going to talk about some of these upcoming fights. We're going to talk about the situation with Keith Thurman. What's next for him. Y'all already know, man. Shout out to everybody who came through. One love. We're going to keep doing this. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. Check it, my peoples. This is Jay Smith, your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. Peace out, my peoples. I'll see y'all later tonight, man. Let me get the hell out of here.